Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of PCs and EVs. As always, I'm Thomas. In today's video, we are collaborating with Plug and Play Steve, and we gotta have to do some charger shenanigans. That station's dead. This is the mixed CHAdeMO unit, and that bolt, because he rolled up while the other two stations were being used, plugged in on the 350. He's being kind and moving over to the 150 so that this Ioniq 5 can get some nice fast charging. So it's just about time for us to set out on our highway range test. We've got the Bolt EV and EUV both charged up to 78%. We're going to discuss what speed we want to go at and everything, and we're going to figure that out now. And what we'll be doing today is going to be a 75-mile-an-hour highway range test. We're going to be getting on that now, but so far it's about 73 degrees out. We've got AC set to low at 70 degrees. So far I've got an estimated range of 202 miles. We'll see what it does, and I'll check in along the way. We are charged up to 78%, just like him, because his Bolt's basically limited to that with the 2020 software update because of the battery pack issues with those. So we're gonna see exactly how far we go, and we'll let you know. So far, things are not looking good for our EUV here on the 75-mile-an-hour highway range test. We're getting 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour, and we've only gone 13 miles. And we've already used 4.5 kilowatt hour, just about. Man, this is not efficient at all. But actually, it's still significantly more efficient than the Ioniq was at this speed. So it's all about perspective, really. Alright, we are 11% in. We're down to about 67%. We're gonna hop over into the other lane real quick. And so far we've got about 27 miles. We're getting about 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. Not great, not bad. It's doing about what I expected for 75, because 75 is extremely difficult to do. We actually gotta hop back in the other lane again. Alright, we are about to hit our first turnaround point. It's about 35 miles in, maybe 36. And so far we've pulled about 46 miles off the guessometer, and we are going to flip around, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so just past 50 miles. We're going to be coming back to you guys now from 25-mile increments. 99% of the power we've used has been spent on driving. We currently have a guesstimated remaining of 133 miles. We've got about 55-ish% left in the battery. We've used currently 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour and used 15.8 kilowatt hour to go the 52-ish miles that we've gone so far. Honestly, not bad. Significantly better than what the Ioniq does at speed, efficiency-wise. Interesting to see. So we are currently 67 miles in, and it says we've lost 11 miles off the guessometer because of the way we're driving and everything. All right. So our guessometer currently says 110 miles. And we're just turning around at one end of the loop now. All right, so far it's 75 miles in. We've lost 104 miles off the guessometer. We are at 41.96%, that is. State of charge on the battery displayed, indicated to me. Obviously I can't directly see percentage anywhere, but, and the raw pack is at 43.8 at the moment. We've got an efficiency so far of 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. Pretty much all of it's going to driving because it's a very comfortable day out at 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and the interior temperature is set to 70, so not a ton of AC going on there. And we've used about 24 kilowatt hour, my apologies. Yeah, it's been a really comfortable drive. It's been really uneventful. We're going to pull off here in a bit once we hit 35%. We're going to compare between the EUV and the EV so far. Time for us now to compare. We're at about 35 or to like 35 to 40-ish% state of charge, and we're going to compare where we're each at and how many miles we have left on the guessometer and everything. According to my OBD reader, we are at 38.4% left. We've got 91 miles on the guessometer. We've used 25.6 kilowatt hour, coming down from 78%. So we've used 40%, and we've gone 84.4 miles. And then raw battery percentage is 40.92% or 40.78, depending on which one you believe. Now let's come over and take a look in the Bolt, see what percentage they're at. And then here in the Bolt EV, looks like it has 84 miles left on the guessometer.
It's not going to do much for you, but it's over hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
This is this trip. So.
Yeah, so it looks like he's gone same distance, and he's getting 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour. Interesting to see that there is 0.4 of a mile per kilowatt hour less on the EUV. We're gonna try switching who's in front, and we're gonna see if that changes that. Now, after comparing, he's gonna take the lead. Look at him filming me. And we're gonna see how it goes, which one of us ends up having more energy at the end. We're aiming for a 5% pull off with him, so I'll probably be much closer to dead based on usage rates because he has the same size battery pack. There he goes. We're gonna go in reverse and we're gonna get going. Interesting to see his turn signal is also very low, as well as but his brake lights are high up still. They're up at the top ones. And we are back on the highway. Like I said, look at that sky, guys. It's such a beautiful day out. All right, just ticked over 100 miles. We've used 30.6 kilowatt hour, 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour still. So we've gone, like I said, 100 miles. Still 99% of it being used by driving. And yeah. We're still following the Bolt EV with Plug and Play Steve in there, and we're just trying to keep up with traffic as best we can, what with merging people and everything, trying not to exceed it too much. We've had a couple of sections where we've gone 40 for 3 miles though, so it's just trying to balance out a little bit. At 125 miles, we are at about 20% battery. We've used 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour, or we've gotten 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour rather, and we've used about 38 kilowatt hour to do this. Impacts wise, we've lost 20 miles compared to what the guessometer would have estimated based on all of these things, and then we have about 46 miles left on the guessometer. Just dropped below 15%, and apparently it turns the battery bar orange. We've gone 140 miles. We started at 78, so we've used 53%, 63%, my bad. And we've gone 140 roughly miles to go. It's 63%, so 60% of our battery. Honestly, that's not bad. This is significantly more efficient than the Ioniq 5, that's for sure. We've just run into a bit of traffic, so we're just trying to get back up to speed as soon as possible. Alright, we're at basically 10% state of charge, 24 miles left on the guessometer. We are slowing down because I missed the exit for the turnaround. It's not going to be the end of the world, we'll still make it. But we've gotten 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour across the entire trip. And down to 10%, we used about 44.6 kilowatt hours for that 150 miles. And just as I was saying, it's interesting that I don't have a charge now warning. Even though we have the same battery packs, started at the same mileage and everything, started at the same percent, Steve here is a little low on charge, so I missed the exit I planned on turning around at so that we'd have a small buffer. So instead we've eaten all that buffer and we're gonna try and crawl it back. But we just got our charge vehicle soon warning. Claims about 21 miles left. We've got 14 miles to go. We're gonna see what happens. So we bailed on the highway. I missed the exit that we were supposed to do. We bailed on the highway because he's got reduced propulsion and everything. And we're gonna see if we can make it to the charger. If not, we're gonna have my girlfriend bring the Ioniq 5 here. And we just got the vehicle to load delivered literally like an hour ago, so that would be a lifesaver. Now here at 5%, we've got the low battery indicator, and we had a propulsion reduced indicator message come up as well. We swapped to surface streets, like I said. We've turned off AC and everything, as has he. He claims to be that he thinks he's probably at about 2%. We don't have very far left to go, so hopefully he makes it. Otherwise, we'll have a early vehicle to load savior, hopefully. So we finally made it back. We did make it to the charger, and he ended up plugging in at 1.57%, which is interesting because initially we have the same size battery pack. We started at the same percentage. I wonder if he has some battery degradation or something, which could come into play here. But we started at the same percentage. He's got the same size battery pack, and his car was driving more efficiently. But I'm gonna plug in a minute. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. All right, so we've got my EUV, another EUV, an ID4 that just rolled up and took the spot that I unplugged from, an e-tron that was parked here waiting, the Kia Niro, and the Bolt EV as well that was charging. So yeah, it was booked. This station does also have a 350 kilowatt that is down currently. So the fact that there's 6 of us here and only 3 working stations is not great. All right, I realized I forgot to do a bit of a wrap up earlier on in the video. So we're gonna do that now. We stopped going 75 at about 10% on the Bolt EV and 14% on the EUV at the 150 mile mark. I assume he's got to have some battery degradation because he slowed down. We had to slow down then because he was running out of battery faster than me. He plugged in at 1.57%, like I stated, and we plugged in at about 5%. That gives me some better efficiency numbers overall, which is interesting considering we traveled the same distance, and the EUV is obviously not as physically efficient as the EV. So I'm curious if there's just not some extra things that Chevy's doing with battery buffers after the 80% software limit to the battery pack on older battery packs that haven't been replaced yet, which is entirely possible. That's probably what happened. But as always, guys, thanks for watching another episode of PCs and EVs. We just had our vehicle to load adapter delivered today, so expect the next video to be talking about charging our Bolt EUV off of our Hyundai Ioniq 5. It's going to be fun. I'm going to see if I can game the free Electrify America enough just to charge this for free as well.